Remember, it's not you pay so you win. You pay and have to be more engaged than who your competitors also going after the same person. It's Google search. What are you bidding for your cost per click? It's not bidding for cost per click. It's is your creative more engaging?
We're killing stuff today, apparently.
Yes. It's called Meta's good graces. We have to kill the ad spend and kill the bad ads, and then Meta will reward us with a new person.
Yeah.
It's so cool. It's like where these little indicators kind of lead our development and our education of learning and as to how Andromeda Gem really work. I mean, deep knowledge. We know that hook rate there's this shining light, like hook rate. For some reason, when hook rate was good, everything worked. And so I started really diving deep into it and said, okay, what is it about hook rate that is having an effect much more important than just, oh, the hook rate went up? Like the hook rate going up, yeah, that sounds okay. But you're like, John, that's like you just harping on click-through rate. Like, it's not really a thing. Like, yeah, cool, but why? What is with this hook rate? What is with this like obsession with that? And it was because of what I saw the effect, the global effect in the entire company, how much that changed. The in-platform metrics are something that we don't really care too much about, but the global top line change and how that actually was affected when hook rate was increased, that was something completely different. I'm going to pause camera here. If you want to pause camera so you can kind of see full screen, Ralph, the user bases, the users out there can see it. But
we can. All right, I think I can do that. Hang on, let's just remove us. I don't know if that does it remove us?
Oh,
because we don't want to be removed.
I think if you pause your camera, it actually pauses. I think it actually removes it.
Oh, okay. All right.
Maybe not.
All right, I'll figure it out while you. Oh, there it is. You're right. It does.
Cool. All right. So check this out. This is a use case of a company that worked with me for many years. It was an old client of a previous agency. And when I left that previous agency, they stayed with that previous agency, and that previous agency that was sold tried to do some stuff with the client that didn't really work out. So let's just say in the last 180 days, they lost $1 million.
Oh,
no, things were not looking good this last 6 months. They need to be above at least a 3x media efficiency ratio. Otherwise, it's really bad. So when I started talking with the client, I said, "Hey, what was going on?" And what he was telling us is the reason why we kind of stopped working together back then, and in an amicable way, was I didn't produce creative, and I asked him, hey, I need new creative. Like, if you don't produce new creative, no matter who you go through, whoever you try in the future, it's not going to work. Well, that was almost a year ago, and he's gone through two different agencies and a freelancer, but he didn't give them any sort of new creative, which is what the reasoning is. So when we look back at the last 180 days, well, not really this one here. I guess I just do like a custom. But if we look back at since October kind of thing and go all the way up to when I started making changes on the 8th, a lot of the ads that they were using, and this is where this is a really extremely important. So I know if everyone thinks, oh, I know where John's going, you don't. Like, this is going to get really crazy, and trust me, it's amazing. I've never actually seen this before. The creative that was running back then had ads that were running back in like July of 2023. I'm like, this is in 2025, and the ads mark July 23 and it's being ran. And then it's October 23, it's being ran. And then January 24 and it's being ran. And I'm like, guys, you're coming back to me. And I said, if you say, John, I know you don't work with us anymore, but can you come back and help? And I say, I hop in here and I see that you're running ads still since May of 24, back when I told you I need new creative and you're still running it. No, man, I can't help you. You're nothing's going to happen. So he said, yep, we're gonna, have to get some new creative and that kind of stuff. So we have a new creative that's all being created, and then the new creative that's being created is put into the campaigns, and we're gonna see how that goes. So the new creative is being created, and what I did in the meantime is I went through and took all of the creative that had over a 25 to 35% hook rate in anything I can kind of get my hands on, and I paused all of it down to just the ads that are active. And they had over 191 ads active. And then we paused that all the way down to essentially these 8. Okay. These are the 8, just 191 ads all the way down to 8. And we did that on the 8th. And on the 8th, compared to the previous period here, you can see that the spend was like, okay, went from 2,000 to 3,400. It got all of the ad spend. It was actually since the 6th, technically, that we started pushing more and more ad spend. So it went 100% up. Now, since the 6th, watch this. The entire account that I basically paused, like you're spending there, pause. I paused 54% of the ad spend. They were spending 10.4. I'm down to $4,800. And that was the first, basically, kind of like the first week in the first 8-9 days. We really started making changes on the 6th. We were completed by the 8th. So I'll show you the two comparisons because it took us about 2 days to revamp everything. So after we paused everything, what we can see here is on the 8th to the 14th, compared to the previous period, the hook rate in the entire account did this. The hook rate is now... The hook rate is up 87%. So it went from 10.6 to 20.2. So this here, though, this same campaign hook rate only went up 0.01. All we did is we just said, hey, we're just going to shut off all of the ads that Meta says it doesn't like, and then I'm going to take the ad spend and cut it in half. Now, this is the before the last 180 days, okay? This is on First Touch. I'm using Nortbeam. They have a 264 down 21%. The first week of changes compared to the previous week shot our media efficiency ratio up 113%. Our revenue went up 76%. Our CAC went down 33%. Our top line conversion rate went up 52%. We spent 17% less and made 20% more conversions with 21% less new visits. Nothing makes sense. The interesting thing about this, though, is I'll explain what happened. None of these metrics look right. And we're saying, okay, well, what's going on here? Why? How did you cut the budget 50% and the company grew? Well, here's what we found out. This is like Meta's good graces. So in the first week, we have Facebook cutting down their ad spend 50%. The new visits went up by 10%. The visits went down 3.4%. So what ended up happening is when we went to the creative that had better engagement, Meta said, let's just call that, like, I don't know, a Google quality score. Now you don't have to spend twice as much. You can cut your budget in half. You can give us 50% less budget and your new visits will go up 10%. Thank you for a high quality score. So now you're going to be rewarded with 50% more revenue and 200% more MER and 53% lower effective cost per new visit. And I was like, okay, so this is pretty good. So then we say, let's add week 2. How did week 2 go? Well, let's add the second week. We went from a 3.23. Now we're up to a 3.89. Holy crap. So now we have still 55% less spend on Facebook. We have 23% less spend total, but we have 20% more revenue now. So now our media efficiency ratio is up to a 3.8. CAC still down 30%. E-commerce conversion rate still up 67%. We have 20% more transactions, and we still have 35% less new visits. Okay, so this is weird. Fast forward all the way to yesterday. Let's just fast forward to the last 2 weeks. This is the entirety of the before and of the after. Our spend is still down 32%. Our revenue is up 17%, and we're out now at almost a 4x media efficiency ratio. Do you remember when we first started this 180 days ago? They were at, or not 180 days ago, 180 days up until March 1st, which was yesterday. They had a 2.64. Now, in the last 28 days, essentially, they're up to a 3.36. And if we actually get the exact date of the change, that 2.68 is now at a 4. So basically increased their media efficiency ratio by 73%. Their CAC still down 30%. Their e-commerce conversion rate still down 61, or e-commerce conversion rate still up 61%. Now it's actually costing us some new visits. So now our ECPMV is actually finally going back up because Facebook's now producing a lot more revenue or a lot more users. Our new visits are kind of coming back up here at the global top line. And this is since the 8th to yesterday at the total top line. Gross sales are up 5%. Total top line sales are up 20%. Orders are at 1.8%. And our sessions over time down 35%. Conversion rate over time up 65%. Facebook did 31% better over here. Google search is up 51%. Google search is up 51%, and I have not made one touch on Google, and Google is still spending the same exact money that it is. But Google even first touch, which is why attribution is dog shit, is revenue's up 43%, MER's up 58%, CAC's down. So literally, I took this company and said, let me shut off 99 out of the 100 ads. And all I'm going to do is basically drop your spend 32%. And I'm going to double your MER and drop your NCAC by a third and give you 61% better e-commerce conversion rate, all for basically the same thing that you're doing before. I just now saved you half your cost. So why did that happen? Why did I cut my budget in half and double the company? It's simply double the efficiency of the company. And it's because I don't believe that Meta will now give us can I bring back the the camera now?
Let's bring us back.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
I now believe that if Meta says your creative is old, played out, and it's already kind of hit its frequency cap on the really good quality users. Do you want really good quality users, or should we give them to Dick's Sporting Goods? No, I want the really good quality users. Okay, what are you going to show them? The same shit from May of 2023. Nope. Remember, it's not you pay so you win. You pay and have to be more engaged than who your competitors also going after the same person. It's Google search. What are you bidding for your cost per click? It's not bidding for cost per click. Is your creative more engaging?